Hello and welcome to the Wednesday night episode of the Bliss Pickup. And we not late because it's always 8:30-ish, 8-ish. We on time, and hopefully you guys are filling the room up. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you comment. Make sure you hit the chat. A poll will be out probably within the next 5 minutes. And, show us some love. Let us know what you're thinking as the show goes on. Now, today, we are going to give you guys the updates of the information that we heard coming out of OTAs. We're going to react. We're going to tell you what we think because obviously sometimes there are biased eyes and biased opinions. What do we really think about what's really going on with the installs that Coach Hafley is implementing to his new team, to the new guys? Also, Malik's leadership is shining through, and it is paramount to the success that, Tony wants to have with an 11-6 record. Finally, we will finish this thing up with the O-line is establishing an identity, what we feel like that identity is going to be like. And, ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday night, so we have to go into the film room. But wait till you see what we talk about on the film. Tony, let's get through this. Let's do it.
Vicinity, good evening. How you doing?
I'm great.
Welcome back.
Day, but I'm great. I'm glad to be here.
Well, welcome back for another episode. Hey, listen, like we do every episode, first thing first, prayers up to our brother. You already know. Until he returns, that's going to be the first thing we lead off with every time. So make sure y'all keep our brother in y'all prayers. Shout out to I see y'all already coming in the building. Shout out to y'all already. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Help push the channel and push us out in the algorithm. Now, listen, I'm excited. I feel like we're finally back to some resemblance of football. Like they're actually on the field competing against each other, like offense versus defense. So we have, listen, at this point of time, I will accept any type of football.
Football and
basketball.
Shorts?
What you say? Shirts and t-shirts. I don't care. I don't care. When I play Sandlot, we play Sandlot in shirts and t-shirts.
Oh, okay.
And what I'm saying? It's like rugby style, but it gets tough and physical out there. So that's all I'm saying, and I would take any type of football at this point. We've been starving, at least for me. I have been starving for football to come back. And I feel like we're finally getting back into the swing of things. So I'm a bit excited, man. Again, what's good with y'all? I see y'all in the building, man. I see you, Vamos Gato. Shout out to you. Steve, what's good, man? D2 was the first one in here.
Question real quick. I'm just curious.
And you ain't gonna let me know. Yeah, hey, she's doing that on purpose, y'all. She don't want me to say what's up to y'all. I just want y'all to know. But go ahead, ask the question. Why cut me off? Rude.
No, because you said you want to get back to football, real football, some semblance of football. You don't watch, what is it, the UFL or whatever league that is? You don't watch Canadian football? It don't hit for you?
What's the first part you said about it?
The UFL, like you said, this is like some semblance of like football. Those players, you don't watch those.
Who are these niggas?
What? You said what? Who?
Get out! You were starving. I didn't know how hungry you were. Like, listen,
man. Standards. I'm not gonna be over here talking about standards and then accept any type of football. Like, relax, man. But listen, man. Hey, man. Y'all know. Again, let me get back to you. Hey, Von Joe, shout out to you, my brother. Gated community forever. JD the Great. I saw his chat. Idle Man. Shout out to Idle Man. Say he multitasking. Dodgers versus Padres and Bliss pickup. Oh, hold on. Let me see the last part. I like that last part. I'm not gonna lie. I like the last part. You want to read that last part for me, Vicinity?
Once a minion, always a minion.
Shout out to him, dog. Shout out to my people in the bed. You feel me? What's good? You ready to get into the show? I'm a bit excited. I get to talk about some football, actual, action going on the field. You feel me? Not just
Mr. 11-6.
That's a fact.
I really gave you. I should have changed that number. But anyway, Tony, OTAs. I'm gonna ask you because there's so much to get into. There was so many reports, little tidbits, and all that. Let's start with what was the biggest, or I think, what do you think was the most important news to come out of OTAs? Let's start.
Hold on.
What?
Shout out to our brother in the building already. He said, millions ruined the world. Salute Tony Vicinity. Hey, man, stop hating on the millions, man. You know what I'm saying? Millions are the most loyal people that you know. Shout out to you. That's why they always over here. They loyal to the Blitz pickup. But listen, hey, every time we see a comment or anything for our brother, that just let us know he's still, kicking and screaming and in good health. You know what I'm saying? But so what you were saying, repeat the question again. I'm sorry.
What do you think is to you personally, what do you think is the most important thing that came out of OTAs, news wise, whatever?
The most important thing that came out of ETAs was, I mean OTA. Sorry, I said ETAs. Estimated time of robbery. See, I'm ready for
you ready?
The ETA. But was when I was listening to all of the interviews.
Yes.
It seemed like everyone was on the same page. Everyone was, even though they're supposed to, was a big fan of Hafley's approach. Mm-hmm. And I think everyone seems to have accepted the fact that we're here to earn our spot. Nothing is given to us. I think every single player was echoing those same sentiments. Every interview, someone was saying that about, I just like this mindset. I just like the way he approached it. Like just learning and understanding and wanting to get better and mental approach of it. Things like that. It sounds like, what it kind of remind me, and I'm not saying we're that team. You remember out when the Patriots was on their run? When everyone was doing their interviews, you already know what everyone was going to say. Absolutely. We already knew that because it's like they was well media trained. Don't give too much. Stick to the same. Everyone has the same message. No matter what the question is, the answers are going to be somewhere on the lines of what everyone is going to answer the same. It's going to be the same. Whatever it is, however you're going to answer it is going to be politically correct, and don't give them too much. No bulletin board material, nothing too much deep dive into anything. So I like that approach to how I see everyone else has been accepting Hafley's, coaching and his style, and it seems like they're at least from now bought into his vision. So far, so good. So to me, that was the most important thing because again, mentality. Now y'all know when we get to the film room, we're gonna see how Jeff Hafley is speaking about mentality. So this is the common theme this year, and I think it's going to be the common theme going forward throughout this whole regime. Whether it's good or bad, we're going to be talking about mentality because this is what they made their bones off and what they sold us on. Oh no, we're looking for mental toughness, from down to how they they scout people, to how they evaluate people, to how they expect people to practice. All about mentality. So I think that was the most important aspect that came out for me, that everyone seemed to be on the same page.
You know what? Love that answer. I got another one for you, right? Now, we talk about mentality, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that's going on with two particular players right now. Now, I'm going to ask you, if you had to guess who is the leader as of right now in the linebacker room, who would you say?
Right now, honestly, Jordan Brooks. And the reason why I say Jordan Brooks, go ahead.
Go ahead. You can listen.
The reason why I say Jordan Brooks is because listening to his interview, he's already taking that. Well, he's already was a leader before he got here, but he's bigging up the rookies. You know what I'm saying? Pointing out what he see in them. And the best part about when I heard Jordan Brooks mic'd up was dope. Yes, they were. When I heard Jordan Brooks' interview was towards the end where he was talking about Kyle Lewis, because everyone's already raving about Jacob Rodriguez, right? But he said, and he made it his point to say, we're going to need him later on in the season. I don't know if anyone caught that, to let him know, look, this is play the long game. This is not the short term. At the beginning, we understand that it's a learning process. But toward the end of the season, that versatility is going to help out. And that could be a 2 or 3. That could have been a double entendre or a triple entendre, because it could either be maybe because people are getting injured and he's so versatile, we could use him in multiple different positions. Or at that point, I'm already predicting that he's going to be rounding into fold and getting acclimated to the game and already showing and letting his presence be felt. That could be one of those, or he could be simply saying, from what I see, what I'm seeing now, he's already ready,
right?
Mentally, it just has to translate to the field. So it could have been either one of those three, and that's why right now obviously coming in, we already assumed that Jordan Brooks was going to be the leader. And then last but not least, this statement he said, him and Hafley basically have the same mentality.
Yep. I was
And
hoping that you hit on that.
yeah, so for me, that's mentality. He's already talked about him and Hafley have the same mentality, and he's already coming into the season one of the ones that we were looking forward to being the leader, because he's one of only two of our all pros. It's great that we have one on offense and one on defense. You want to know what the crazy part is, though? Both of them are in contract years.
And this is my point, because I mean, you let me get to the second person. I was going to ask you, who is the leader in the O-line room?
So I believe, so now they've been interviewing Patrick Paul a lot.
They have.
Right? Mm-hmm. But if you ever heard Aaron Brewer talk and speak, he has that leadership quality.
Absolutely.
And he has that no nonsense type of approach that when he's talking about people, we already can remember. And if you don't forget what happened last time when they was asking him the tough questions, he answered them straightforward. Kind of just like Hafley and Sully has been doing. Straightforward answers, no beating around the bush. So obviously, I'm quite sure he's the leader in the offensive line room, but I do see a lot of maturation from Patrick Paul. Absolutely. I see him taking that next step, and he's vocalizing it a lot more now to where you could see the confidence in him. Even when he was saying that he needs, let's say that to the line. My bad. I'm so sorry. Already. I'm hyped because I like to talk.
But to my point, to me, that was something that was important. It just doesn't seem like it's getting enough credibility to it, because you have two leaders who are in contract years with a new regime. Hopefully talks have been had and they understand what the game plan is for them going forward. But even Jordan Bush can be looking like, oh, y'all brought in one, potentially two in my room. Sometimes ears start perking up, or so we don't know the situation. I'm not here to speculate. But for me, Aaron Brewer and Jordan Brooks showing up, especially during these OTAs, when you can finally get involved with the rookies for the first time.
And it's still voluntary.
You got some coming into your room, and you still got a guy that still needs to develop in Jonah, and you got to get these reps in, and you got to understand, and you got to get not only those reps in for Aaron Brewer, but now you are hiking the ball to a new quarterback. You got to get as many of those reps in as possible too, so that we're on the ball. Because I mean, we've had the snap issues in the past with another center, and you don't want things like that to, like, some simple mistakes like that to show up, because it happens. So for me, one of the things that I truly looked at was the fact that both of those guys actually being leaders, and even Hafley making a point that he was going to call out these leaders. He was going to expect something from these guys, and for them to show up, to me, that's where I want to go. I don't want to harp on too much, because I feel like you really answered the question for me. This is why I just sometimes just throw questions at you, let you take it, but don't worry, minions.
I'm coming
for the crown. I'm learning that mentality. Go ahead, Tone.
I have one more part that I want to see. You brought up Jordan Brooks and you brought up Aaron Brewer, and it brought me to something that I can't believe I forgot. When Jordan Brooks answered the question of why he's showing up, even though it's voluntary, it's OTAs, it's not mandatory, with the contract thing out there, and his answer was, he want to show everyone that he's here for the right reasons. That was perfect. He said he's here for the guys. It's a new coach, it's a new scheme, and we have a bunch of young players, and I want to show everyone that I'm here for all the right reasons. That right there speaks volume to the mentality of him.
And it's culture setting.
Right? And culture set, obviously. And if he's doing that, not even worried about the contract. He didn't even want to speak about the contract. Right? The most he talked about a contract was, it seemed like they were trying to get a little soundbite when they asked when he said how proud he was of A-Chan getting his. He was like, no, they had to take care of that first. Because since I've been here, he's been the best player. You know how humble that is? To say, no, he's been the best player on the team. He didn't say on the offense. He said he's been the best player on his team since I've been here. He earned that. He deserved that. and they already spoke of, and he mentioned, he said, yeah, Hafley told us A Chance was first, priority, and then they were going to work on those two right then and there. Can I say something before we get into the next one? Because this is off topic.
Yeah.
Shout out to people like me, Steve, who else I know? Ali, I think it'd be, I believe Rashard, Lou, the people that when we see information, we go do our own research.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we listen to a lot of these so-called experts, they will lead you in the wrong direction. And I don't understand why they say a lot of things out there and you don't do your homework about it. For instance, you remember when Lou came back and he didn't understand what was going on, and he wanted to know the contracts, and I think Nene asked also, hey, how is it that they are able to give A-Chain his contract and with the cap situation? And obviously, us doing our homework, we went back. No, it's because it's an extension. I'm watching, I'm not even going to call no names. I'm watching so-called experts come out there saying, and when they were like, oh, y'all not worried about him signing his contract? They literally said, oh, he can't sign it until post June 1st. And I'm like, that's not true. Now, crazy part about it, that was yesterday. Yesterday, yeah. Today he signed the dang on contract. Now I said that before because I was in there. This was on a YouTube channel, and I seen someone say, "Oh, mention a certain channel name," and said that they said that it didn't matter about the salary cap because it was an extension, so they didn't have to wait to June 1st. Basically, trying to call us out as if giving out false information. I'll tell you one thing. I'm gonna tell you something, and I said it multiple times. Whenever I feel like I'm on the opposite side of the so-called experts that's been misguiding, misleading this fan base for long, I'm cool with that. Because when it comes out, right, it's something like that happens. You know what's crazy? It always happens like that. As soon as someone get called one of us out over here, it seems like the very next day that it's answered. We don't have to wait too long to see if I was just making that up or I actually did my homework, right? So boom, he comes, he signed it. Videos all over the place. Miami Dolphins, yeah, he signed it, boom, boom, boom. Because, ladies and gentlemen, these are like, you have to just do your homework and don't listen to these people. Yes, I'm not just out here, and I don't brag and boast. Y'all know this. I'm not out here saying, oh, I know everything, and someone asks information, I'm going to go through my homework before I just throw out the answer and act like I know everything. You get what I'm saying? But I just wanted to say that this was on, radio and on YouTube, and I see it, and I'm like, okay, it seemed like we're being called out. But shout out to the Dolphins and A-Champ for signing that contract. I told y'all they must be lifting over it because it seemed like every time we get called out, they dropped it down like boom. No, they were telling the truth. Without all the so-called sources. That's all I'm saying.
Tony knows source. The minions be hard at work. Shout out to the minions putting in the work so that we can, get the truth. You ready to get into the film room? Or is there any more info you want to talk about out of OTA?
Yes, I'm ready to get into the film. I will make sure when I did the I will make sure I had it set up first.
Okay.
So Vincenti already told y'all we're going into the film room, and when she was asking me, obviously, clearly about the mentality and how the most important things about it, and obviously before, after, and now, before, currently, and afterwards, we're always going to talk about mentality. Let's go to the film room. Y'all know Wednesdays, it's the 40-second clip, but I want y'all to listen to Jeff Hafley at the end of the OTAs. Here we go. Hold on, that was at the end. I'm sorry.
Understand the urgency, guys. We don't have many of these. There's 2 done. These are going to go fast. We have to get better every day. You have to find a way to get better every day. And there's a lot more mental right now than there is physical.
Pause. You heard that statement? There's a lot more mental right now than there is physical. And I think he's going to follow up by saying it's set up that way. Hold on.
That's just the way this thing is built. right? So you got to get on the tape. If you need extra help, you got to see your coaches. Tomorrow there's going to be more installs. Each day there's going to be more installs. This is not slow. You guys understand what I'm saying? So the urgency's got to build, and we got to get better every single day. We don't have time. There's a race for that.
That's why I wanted to stop it at. See, that if you listen to that whole segment right there, that part right there, I'm gonna play the rest of it. But that part right there, as you think about it, he's talking about mentality. Obviously, that's what these are. Remember, he said it was 3 installs. He liked the 3 installs. So by the time they get to full out practices, they're just translating it to the field, right? And you could already see how they react and how they move. That is very important. When he said it's not slow, it's fast. We have to get better every day. We don't have time. There's what he said, there's races for that. There's a race for that. Basically, what he's saying is learning and football, the football speed, you don't have time. You have a finite amount of time to get everything done and to play fast. This is not running a 40. You could go, there's a race for that. This is not the 100-meter dash. This is not the 200. This is not the 400, which we call the quarter, or the 800 to 600, whatever. These are not relays or hurdles. So if you want time, or you just, think that everything is predicated on having time, you go practice for a race. Right here, in order to play fast, what did he say? Get in the film. If you need to learn something, get with your coach. Right? What that is, that's taking the initiative. That's after we went to the install. You have your positional coaching for a reason. Hey, coach, I need to understand this part. So by the time they get to the film, I'm on the field, I understand what I'm gonna have to do. And all I'm doing is reacting and getting to my rightful position on time. That skips, I'm not gonna say skips, but that eliminates Hafley have to reteach you your actual assignment. And all he's teaching you is, okay, I see how you did that, but this is how I want you to get there. This is what I want you to do to get there. But you already have to have the mental part down pat. And I like that part, what he was saying right there. That is a great message.
Good work. Your effort was outstanding. I can't wait to watch the film. Malik, you got him.
Yeah, that was the end of it right there. And I like what he said with Malik, you got it. That's going to translate into the next conversation. But for saying, I want to get your thoughts on what you heard right there. But I just want y'all to focus on everything so far that they've been talking about. They've been following through with it, you right? And just that, and I know it's something as simple as, everyone should talk about this. You should expect this from a coach. But the fact that he doesn't take anything for granted, and he always remind them, hey, if you have problems with something, go to your positional coach, right? Certain type of leadership styles, it can resonate with everyone, because some people could say, hey, I already told you what to do. I expect you to be a professional, and I shouldn't have to tell you again. With him, he's naturally just saying, hey, even though you're supposed to know this, here's a friendly reminder. Hey, if you need something, go ahead. You got your positional coaches. Just keeping everyone aware of those type of things so it becomes second nature. You know who was great at that? Bill Belichick. His superpower was his attention to details. Like to the smallest minute details, he will focus on, even down to the fact that when they backed up in their own goal line, right? When he say, hey, this is the part where as an offensive line, you can cheat. Why? Because if you get a penalty, it's not a 10-yard penalty or a 5-yard offside. It's a half an inch. So if you want to fire off that ball, this is the time to do it to get that advantage. Those are the small minute details that you see, and I start to pay attention to, teaching moments, and you never stop teaching. But what's your thoughts about that?
He speaks with conviction. He speaks with a purpose, and everything he says is very intentional. He's one thing that I got from this that may not be as black and white is he's watching to see who wants to get better. When you make it a point to say, go see them coaches, and then he gonna check in with those coaches, and he gonna see who came to see him, especially in an open competition. You're wanting to see who are to their point, really those football guys whose mind is focused on getting better for this team and being here, who want this, who actually want this. So to me, what I got from that was he was giving them instruction. And either you're going to follow these instructions or we're going to get you in line. Don't worry about it, because eventually they're all going to come together and they're going to cut this roster down to 53. I think that's the number still. And then even if you're not there, the practice squad guys, these are moments where they can like stand out in a way. How many times did you come? How many times did you go to film? How many times did you go to train? How many times did you go to workout? How many times did you come in this building when we didn't ask you to get better so that you're ready if we call on you? So to your point, Tone, I think you hit it right on the head. Everything that you said was right on. I cannot disagree. But for me, that's what I took away from it. We're watching.
Right.
We are watching. And
you know,
I love, last thing. I love the way that he spoke to them. It really sounded, no offense and no shade to the other guy that we had, but it sounded like someone who knows what they're doing and knows how to get to these guys. And it sounds like he knows that he's leading them and that they're following him and that they are, to your point, bought into what he wants to do. And he doesn't sound timid. He doesn't sound like he's trying to overpower them, demean them. He's talking to them straightforward as men talk to one when it's about business, right? And he's about this business. He is about the business of making this team better, being the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. And he is about the business of finding who really wants to be here and to play for him. That's what I got. But God,
yeah,
sorry, I didn't finish your point.
And to add on to your point, when you say that he's paying attention, he said something that basically proved that he was paying attention when they was asking about, the things when he first came back to OTAs. Mm-hmm. And he was saying, oh, it's basically brushing them up on the installs and focuses on people doing techniques that wasn't taught. And that was a great, when I listened to it, I heard that, I'm like, he noticed, hey, listen, I noticed you went back to doing it the way that you was doing it before I showed you the technique when y'all first came around. Get back to it. And more specifically, I was watching an interview, and he was, if you watch that whole segment, that video of him mic'd up, he was talking to Ojabo. And he said, hey, Ojabo, remember technique. You have to do it this way. And I'm like, that probably was one of the guys that, okay, we taught you this way and you came back and now you reverted back to how you're used to doing and what you're comfortable with. And he was like, no, remember this. And those are, again, paying attention to details. And like you said, I'm watching. I want to see who reversed or who learned, who came back and practiced while they was away and still continue, to improve. Those are great things that you look for into coaches. And I'm telling y'all, I said this from the get-go, and I'm starting from day one. I said this. I am going to pay attention to if he's actually out there coaching and teaching. Remember I said that. Yeah. Is he out there coaching and teaching? Because the only one that I saw doing that was Vic Vendale. Paying attention to details. I heard on the film, he was like, hey, now get out there and run it again. Taught him to do something. Hey, get that running it again. Those are the things that I'm looking for. So that's a great point. I just wanted to add on to you what you said about him paying attention. Yes, he most definitely is.
Oh, I got moments. Listen, I got moments. This is why, just like him, right? Building the Finanity family, it's a mentality. It's we get there. Like, you feel me? We're not just trying to galvanize. Well, you've been building your minions for what, 3 years now? 4 years? So
2.5.
2.5. We get in there. We get into 3. So it's gonna take some time, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna catch up. But Tone,
I'm building a big pickup fan base.
Interested because there were a lot of clips. Whether they were running a drill, some of it was the stretching again. We don't got to get into it because our brother Lou ain't here to push back on it. You feel me? Out of all the clips, you picked this one. And And I'm proud of you for picking this one, because we could have shown the flashy plays, the catches, all them pushing up on the dummies. Not that's what they're called, people, to be politically correct, right? But you went to the part where he mentioned and focused on the mentality. And the fact that is something that he keeps hammering into these guys. Every time he speaks, every meeting, every breakdown, every single time he can talk about mentality, he brings it up. When we think about the mentality of the Miami Dolphins of the past, we know what it is. But he made it clear that he said that was not going to be associated with this team anymore. My question to you, after getting through all that, do you think that with what he's preaching, right, and whether it comes with success or not, right, because the guys do seem brought in, but we'll see. Do you think that the way that he's trying to build it is what is going to be the key to our success long term? And I know we look at success two different ways, but do you think that is going to be the major key to what our success is going to be? And can you expound on that, please, just a little bit?
Yeah, so the reason why I agree, yes, I do think so, is whether or not it's immediate success. The one thing that's important that every great person, every great player, every great coach, every great GM, owner, they understand it starts with the mindset. Mm-hmm. And from beginning to the end, it's all about the mentality, because someone that has the right mindset, you could get the most out of that player or that person, no matter what. If you don't have the right mindset, you could be the most talented person in the world, but then your talent could go to waste. Mm-hmm. And we've seen that before. Everyone was raving about how talented Channing Tindall was, but he just didn't have it between the ears. Same thing with Cam Smith. Like things like that happens. If you don't have the right mindset, you have the lazy mindset, it can hinder you. Devontae Parker comes to mind again. Devontae Parker was very, very talented, but guess what? He was lazy. Don't have the right mindset. So you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the mindset to utilize it and try to, maximize your talent, then what good is having the talent?
Facts.
So yes, I think it starts, which is when you say why I believe they brought in the right people, right? It's because I see the structure, I see the mindset, I see, hey, we're crawling before we walk. We're not just trying to hit the ground and running full speed ahead. This is not that what you call that when you get it's not the treadmill challenge. It's not that when they put it at 20 miles per hour or 30 miles per hour, you just jump on there running. No, this is we're going to take every step by step. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you how I want it to be done. I'm going to expect for you to practice it, and then I expect for it to translate to the field. But we are going to take the proper steps to getting this right. Starts with techniques. What did he focus on? I see people that correcting the techniques that weren't taught. That I didn't teach you that technique. Let's get it right. Get back. Get in the mindset. Hey, when you get on the field, I need you to already know what's going on. Go to your coaches. Get into the film room. Right? These are all. Now, guess what? Vicinity. I got. I'm not gonna mention no other people but if let's just say, for the sake of anything, one of our leaders call a film session, do you think this team would have a problem showing up?
No.
You want to know why? Because it's not only coming from the quote unquote leaders on the field, like the players. My coach has been hammering that in my brain from day one. Hey, I need you to be in the film. I need you to be good on that film. What did he say? You have to get in the film room, and if you need help, go get with one of your coaches. Seek help, but I need you to have it down pack on the film because we don't have time, and this moves fast. Remember what I was saying, Vincent? You have to play the game fast. What do that mean? I already know I have to be. I'm get there before because I'm not thinking about where I should go. I know the spot that I get there, so I'm just going directly there. That's how you play with football speed. So yes, I think that the message that he's pointing out, it's pointing us in the right direction because it's all mental first. Like, I don't care about what's on the field. If you don't have it down pack up here, I cannot expect you to get it right on the field. Can't. It has to be up there. So yes.
That's facts. And now that we're speaking about mentality, see, sometimes I just like to weave things. My mind is sometimes. There is a young man who has come in with the right mentality, and he has been one of the most amazing leadership assets I believe that we have acquired through free agency, right? Because we had some leaders here, but as far as acquiring an asset, and ironically, he just happens to be playing the most important position for us on the field. Tone, I know you've been speaking a lot, but I need you to speak just a little bit more because I feel like you and your minions should be celebrated tonight. I really just want to celebrate you and the minions tonight. You know, I don't typically do this, but it's a Wednesday. It's not a Friday. Let's give you guys some flowers right now. Malik.
Shout out to Malik.
Malik.
And before I even speak on Malik, listen, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. It's still 31 of y'all in the building. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Get all the likes. So we need the likes. You know, I don't know how many likes we have now, but the likes help push us in the algorithm, and it helps push it out there while we're live to push this content out to more, even people that's not, subscribed. If everyone that's watching hit the like button, that tells the algorithm that, okay, everyone, this is good content. Everyone is liking it. Let me push this out to more subscribers or potential subscribers, right? Cool. Malik.
Can I? Okay.
Go ahead, for sure.
Before the rookies were brought in, before a draft was made, before an OTA, before a voluntary minicamp, and before any of all of that, this man has been putting his imprint on this team and solidifying himself in such a untouchable, I think right now, leadership role. What are your thoughts? Because a lot of the players spoke on this and touched on it and made it a point to mention his leadership. What are your thoughts about that the players are just singing his praises when it comes to his leadership quality?
So the thing about that is, when it comes to leaders, naturally, when a guy's a leader, you see he don't have to speak about it.
Yep.
You know, he didn't speak about his leadership. He don't brag about it. He don't come in and say, I'm coming here to be a leader. I have to establish myself as a leader. He just came in and took action. That's what he did. And the leadership comes from outside. All his players, not his players, his teammates, his coaches. You know what I thought was very interesting? The fact that Jeff Hafley was like, hey, listen, I'll be telling him, hey, I want you to focus on learning the playbook and getting everything down packed, and let me be the leader right now, right? Let me be the leader, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be the leader while you get everything down packed. So when you go out there and you want to be the leader, which he's already took that role, your actions are speaking louder than your words. You're walking it like you're talking it, right? So I think, and that's a very underrated aspect of coaching. Hey, I know you want to be lead, and I can see it, but don't forget, the play on the field is more important, because people follow guys that they believe in, guys that they trust, guys that show up, that do their job, that that on time. And he like, don't forget about that. Even if listen, this is what I'm here for you to get everything down packed, and you just gradually and naturally just get and assume your position as a leader here. Those things are very, very, very important to me, because guys already talked about it. What they said, hey, we respect him from day one. He came in, getting all the guys together to get down and get some work out with each other, building that camaraderie, things like that. That coaches, you can't teach that type of stuff. That type of stuff has to be already inbred in you, because I could tell you how to be a leader all I want, but if you don't have that natural ability, it don't mean nothing. You know what it come off? Disingenuous. fake. People don't respect it. They look at you like, hey, no, he's not being real. He's being phony. But someone that comes in and you notice, I like the fact that they always say he's not even the loud, boisterous type guy. He's soft-spoken. But when he speaks, everyone listens. Everyone respects it because he's speaking with respect. And he's coming from a standpoint to where he wants everyone to get better. Like he wants what's best for everyone else. And those are the type of guys that you need in the locker room. I remember having that conversation with Lewis, say, hey, Lou, we need to start having more people with that dog-like mentality. We need to start having more people that have that more of the players are going to run this locker room. They are, not the coaches, because we can't take coach on the field with us. We can't. And you know what? Actions speak louder than words. He never said we can't take coach on the field with us, but he did. The first thing he did in the building was like, hey, I need all y'all to come show up with me and we gonna get some work in without the coaches. That's showing you, hey, we need to build this chemistry. Coach can't come out there and build it for us. I need you to trust in me as I want you to me to trust in you. Things like that is always, well, not always, but things like that, when it happens, it tends to show you how the future what the future would bring. Okay, this guy look like he at least at bare minimum, this team is going to be behind him. They're going to ride for him. They're going to give it their all. So you're going to have a team that when you turn on the games on Sundays, Mondays, sometimes Thursdays, well, now this year, Wednesdays and all that. But, that team, you're going to say, well, that team played their heart out. That team didn't quit, and that's a tough out. And that's the type of team that you're not going to want to play. Because you have a guy that's at the helm with the mentality of, we are the guys that have to get it done. I'm going to come in and show you I'm here for you guys. I'm here to help you get better, and I want you guys to help me get better. And how do you do that? We come work with each other. We talk and get to know each other. I heard, someone say today, they noticed after the camp, he got all the offensive linemen together and said, I'm taking y'all to dinner. We know all the good quarterbacks, they do that. See, it's not about buying them gifts. See, that's what people don't understand. It's not about buying them gifts. You remember when when everyone was hating Vic Fangio? Go back and watch that interview. Javon Hollis was in there. Zach Sealer was in there. Christian Wilkins was in there. And Bradley Chubb. They all was in there. And they was talking about, man, we started going out to dinner and just getting to know each other, learning each other. So we understood each other. I understood his personality. He understood mine. So he knows when I'm down what to do. He knows when to motivate me. He understands what I'm going through. And look at that offensive line. The best, what they broke the record, right? For sacks for the Dolphins. And every offensive lineman had a great year that year. It's not a coincidence. They were building camaraderie. Because I understand what you're doing. Hey, listen, when I do this right here, I'm trying to get him to do this, so I need you to loop. Those are the type of things that coach can't, he cannot build that for you. Go, I don't know. Listen, all y'all are movie watchers, so I know y'all give me great, shows and movies. I know all y'all watch Remember the Titans. What did Denzel put emphasis on? Before, they was having 3 days. And if y'all know what 3 days is, it ain't got nothing to do with running plays or none of that. That's all conditioning, getting in shape, and installs. That's all 3 days is. And weight rooms. And what did he tell them?
He made them learn each other, like take
from
time
the opposite race. I'm gonna come and ask you something about you're gonna learn your teammate. And he said, we're not gonna stop doing 3 days until everyone knows something about everyone on his team. He understood y'all have to build that camaraderie. I can't do it for y'all. And it's a waste of my time to try to put you guys out there on the field if y'all not even playing with each other. You see, guess what? That's when they build the left side, strong side. Left side, strong side. They understand each other. He told him, hey, man, the first thing, man, you wasting talent. What did he tell it? Man, you wasting talent. I see you doing all this, but you only care about yourself. You don't care about your player. Every time you do this, you leave the rest of us out to dry. And you think we don't like you because you're black. No, we don't. We mad because every time you do this, trying to make a selfish play, you leave us out to dry. Now it's harder for us. Oh, you know what? My bad. You know who echoed those same sentiments when they started talking to every player on their team? Ray Lewis. Go listen to how he talked to his players. He never talked to them about getting stats. Ever talked about getting stats. Never talked about interception, tackles. He said, man, all I need you to do is do your job. Do your assignment. Because if you force him to me, I guarantee you I'm going to make the tackle. And if you do your job and he come my way, I'm going to force it to you and I trust that you're going to make the tackle. He wanted trust in them being in the right position. Not making plays. I need to trust that when I do this, I'm forcing him out there because I know you're going to be able to make to make the play. And that 2000 defense, what? Historically good. And it's the mindset, the mentality. Everything that happens, it starts with players understanding and being on the same page. That's why I keep saying mentality is very underrated. That's all I'm saying. But yes, so all that being said, you can see those type of things in Malik Willis. You can see that he coming in here, he's a natural born leader, and it's not forced. You can tell when it's being forced. It's not forced. He's just naturally that type of person. He's a good person. When his teammates talk about him, like, yeah, I just like you can feel his energy. You know, he's just a genuine good person. And when you talk to him, you feel like you can learn from him. And he has your best interest at heart. I know who my two favorite quarterbacks is. Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow. The biggest thing that I said about Joe Burrow is when they was asking questions about Joe Burrow, all of the answers about what they said and to give him compliments had nothing to do with his play on the field. Nothing. One of the questions he was asked, if Joe Burrow wasn't playing football, what he would be? Guess what the answer was? Leader. One of his teammates said leader. Another one said somewhere, a general or something, somewhere in a leadership role. You know what that tells me? They respect him. They not even talk about how he's a baller on the field, generational talent. They talk about his leadership qualities. So to have that in the quarterback, that's very underrated. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Malik. For you,
man, listen. You know what? You've been put on a masterclass tonight. You've been put on a masterclass. I mean, I've been throwing some nice alleys. You guys aren't gonna get too much of this, but what I like is that anything he asked another man to do on that team, he's doing it with them.
Oh, facts.
It's not, I need you to go do. No, I'm going to stay out here with you and do it. That lets them know that, to your point, he wants them to get better. He wants to build the chemistry. He wants to get to know you. And he does want you to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. So for me, I do not want to regurgitate all the wonderful things you said, because I think you hit probably every point that needed to be hit. Thank you. Appreciate it. But to me, if I could just say one thing to surmise it, if he's asking you to do something, he's doing it with you. Everything has been team-oriented, or let's get this together. So to your question, if any of these leaders ask any of these players to show up for, I think it might even get to a point where they ain't got to ask. It's just gonna be a known thing. We doing this day, or after we work out, we all heading to the film room. Like, I feel like it's just gonna be so well orchestrated of a will, and they're going to get into such a routine. It's going to be darn near a family. Like, can I say darn near? It's going to be darn near a family.
You say damn near.
Hold up. This is.
No, I'm saying you can say damn near. No, I'm going to address that. I didn't want it to go.
Oh, okay. Is that something else?
Yeah.
Does that have to do with this?
No. That's something. I heard someone say something I want to address. That just reminded me of something that I wanted to say. But go ahead.
Do you want to talk about it now, or you want to wait?
I want you to finish what you were saying.
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, well then, for Sandy say this the same player last year. I mean the same play last year. We can find the same experience of we tough now. It's a culture. Man. So I listened to a couple of people talk earlier. And y'all know I listen to Joe Rose. I'm a big Joe Rose. I always give credit when credit is due. I don't just come and act like I'm just getting this out of the blue. So I was listening to Joe Rose earlier, and he was 38 hot at Omar Kelly this morning. Because Omar was saying kind of the same thing, but in a different way. So Omar wanted to bring in, leaders. He wanted to bring in, not losers, I'm sorry, veterans. Because he want leadership. And he felt like we lost all the leadership from last year. And he don't think that this team has enough leaders in it. And, I'll be in there and I sometimes be like, man, I want to ask the question. I want to ask him a question to rebuttal that so bad. And this is one of the first times that it just happened to be Joe Rose. He asked the exact question that I wanted to ask, that I would have asked if I was up there. And he said, what did this team do with those so-called leaders you said we lost? He asked him. I'm like, thank God. He said, because you complain about we lost Tyreek Hill, Waddle. He wanted to bring in Christian Wilkins. He's been crying about Christian Wilkins forever, right? He was like, you lost it. He was like, hey, Joe, who's the leader at cornerback? He was like, who's the leader at cornerback? You lost both your cornerback, Ramsey and all that. He said that. He said, who's your leader at safety? You lost your safety. Who's your leader at offensive line? He went so far as to say that Aaron Brewer is not a leader. Last year was his first. He's just coming off his first good year. Last year, this is what this man been saying. That we lost Teron Armstead. And he's basically saying there's no leaders in the building. And Joe Rose hit him with the exact rebuttal I would have said. And he said, well, how did those leaders do? How did this team do with those leaders on the team the past 2 seasons? Omar said, you know what? You're right. Shut him up. Because you don't make no sense when you saying that. We had all those players that you want. He was like, why can't you bring back in Rasul Douglas? Rasul Douglas was last year. He was here.
Moving on.
What did that leadership do us? Where did that leadership get us? Folded at the end of the season? He said, no, I would prefer build it from scratch and instill the mentality and let those guys naturally become leaders and learn each other and build camaraderie. That's how it really happens. And I love when people that actually played the game can teach you some things with the people that just from the outside looking in, that swear they knows everything. And just leave out the fact, like it's easy. It's easy to sit up there and say, man, God, dog, you miss Tyreek, you miss all these. We don't got no leaders in the building. Forgetting the fact that, bro, we had all these leaders in the same team that we keep saying failed.
You mean the same leaders that were lying to fans?
Lying to fans, disappointment. He would talk about Bradley Chubb and all that. I'm like, bro, I get it. But we had all those people. And where did it get us? Right here. Where we at now? With the youngest team in the NFL. Drafting the most rookies this year in the draft. So please, sometimes we have to take a step back and say, maybe that's not the right approach. Maybe a different approach would eventually be the right way to go. We saw what that side. Okay, we seen that approach. We saw it. We know what it gets us. You want us to be insane? Y'all want insanity? Doing the same thing, expecting a different result? No, we don't. No, bro, change it up. Just because they're talented or they quote unquote supposed to be leaders, that leadership wasn't working for the Dolphins. It wasn't. It had a divided locker room. Why people don't bring that part up when they want to talk about, oh, we lost all the leaders and all this? I'm sorry. See, I ain't meant that. I'm sorry. It's almost. I'm about to go off.
This is the day to celebrate you and your minions.
It's so annoying when people keep talking about, oh, we don't have the leadership and all these leaders. You know that same leadership that had a divided locker room? People wanting to put hands on Mike McDaniel. People got coming out and basically dry snitching on each other live on TV. Every time they were behind the mic, y'all, you know how easily we forget, Vicinity. How easily we forget we couldn't stand when they stood in front of mics. We couldn't we knew it was going to be a terrible soundbite. Now it was going to be good for content, but it was going to be embarrassing as a fan.
Yeah.
Listen to them now. What we hearing? Oh, you know what? Hey, I like the mentality. Oh shucks, they all sound. Lou asked me earlier in the space yesterday. Malik Washington had an interview. I listened to the interview. He had 2 interviews. It's crazy, and then he did another one this morning on the Joe Rose show. You know what I noticed? And I told Lou this yesterday. I say, you swear you hear Jeff Hafley out there talking. The only thing he's talking about, mentally getting prepared, being better, being focused on learning and understand, getting in the playbooks, not worried about the receivers that left, not worried about stepping up. They were like, hey, how do you feel that, you looked at to be one of the leaders in, because you're one of the wide receivers that's here. Now you're the leader. He say, man, I'm just focused on getting better and helping my teammates out. That's what he said. He said, I'm just focused on being mentally ready, getting ready for the grind, getting in the playbook, learning the playbook to be the best version of myself, earning my spot. Nothing is given to you. I said, it's crazy how they sound right now. It's crazy when you have a one direction. This is the direction this team is going. Either get in line or get out.
Oh man. Okay.
Align yourself. Go ahead, Fitzgerald.
Once again, beautifully stated, wonderfully stated. Proud of you. Did you see the response?
No. Hold on. Let me. I'm looking. Which one? I still think we have a jacked up front office who loves.
No. Before that.
Micromanage.
Before that.
We don't have the same front office. Oh, I see. This is a long one. Okay. Y'all fall for the Dolphin propaganda without waiting to see it on the field. It's OTAs. Anyone could give a speech. I need to see production, patience, and a sound, sober evaluation.
Okay, pause.
Go ahead. I'll for the go. Go ahead.
This is one of my favorite people to talk football with because she is so convicted. So I know nothing that I'm about to say is going to change her stance. And I want to lead this off by saying, I absolutely understand what you're saying. But if you say you want to see production, right? We're seeing production. We're seeing progress. We're seeing guys do the things that they weren't willing to do last year. Now, has it been on the field yet? No, but it has to start somewhere. Good habits have to start at the basics. And we're seeing these good habits being taught and reiterated and executed by these players. Yes, we are far off from training camp. We are far off from the first game. We are far off to the end of the season, right? And to Tony's point, I as you know, I have us under 4.5, right? The production that you want to see, kind of like how I was last show, where I even said, okay, I might have put the cart before the horse because I'm like, we haven't seen anything. But when I reevaluated and I sat on it and I let it marinate, I asked myself, why are the small changes not enough? Why is it that the
Did we lost her? Vicinity. Is she froze for y'all? How it's froze on my side, on my end. I believe we lost her. Give me if she froze for y'all, let me know. I'm with you 100% there. Okay. Yep, they say yep. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So and it's crazy. She froze at the part that I wanted to hit on that point as far as the little things been enough. And I'm not it's not just sticking strictly to just the little things been enough. I want to I would rebuttal this way. How come we can't evaluate this team based on everything that we're seeing and not get ahead of ourselves? Right? We asked for a different mindset. We're getting it now. We're getting a different mindset. Uh, okay, she says she might be out. All right, we're getting a team with a different mindset, so we're pointing it out, right? I don't think it would be no different, right, if we came in and we saw these guys out here in the media still acting like there isn't a problem with the culture, still acting as if, you know, this team wasn't being called soft, and we was calling it out last year. We was calling it out last year, and it wasn't a problem. It wasn't a problem when we said, hey, we seen this before. Y'all lied to us about this. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. When we was calling out how we don't see our quote unquote leader going in, showing up first for training facilities and practices and being the first in the building, how we don't see them working with each other. It's crazy how when we send the negative part about it, it's the one, that's how people feel that we should cover the team. Only the negative part is the one that suffices for some people. But why can't we just call it how it is? When I see something that I appreciate and that I like, and I'm like, okay, I see that, I like that, why can't I do that? Why do I only have to say, oh, last year they said that and it didn't work out? But, you know, I can't point out the fact that last year they didn't have a coach that was paying attention to details. That coach was more worried about being friends than teaching and holding people accountable. This year, I see a coach that's coming in there, holding people accountable and sticking to his word. He said how he was going to run things, and so far we see him keep his word. So at the end of the day, I think we have to be objective and fair. We can't just automatically come in and say, well, the past regime was like that, so I don't care about this regime. You are within your right to do that and feel that way. It's cool. But don't assume that we're fooled already because we're pointing out things that we're seeing, the things that's transpiring now. These are the things that's happening live in real time. Jeff Hafley is coaching these people live in real time. Jeff Hafley is teaching them live in real time. He's inputting the mentality, engraving in their brain the type of mentality that he wants for his team live in real time. It's okay to point out, like, okay, yeah, cool. I see that. Because we always keep the same energy. And I'm going to let you go back and get back in here, Vicinity. We always keep the same energy by saying, I need to see it translate to the field. Vicinity prefaced her statement by saying, now, I know we have to see it translate in the field, but at least what I see is that he's paying attention. Right? All of the media guys came out and said, what? One thing that we don't have a problem with, that we know we've been having a problem with, you ain't worried about no one showing up late. It's bad to point that out. I'm just saying. But go ahead, Vicinity, you know.
No, I think, first of all, sorry, guys. We're experiencing a storm. It's going to be a thunderstorm for the next couple of days. So Wi-Fi is out, but I'm using my cellular data. Pray for me. I'm going to pay that bill, but it is what it is. I got unlimited. That's between me and Jesus. Anyway, I think you definitely, you hit it. I think, to her point, 100% factual. We do want to see it on the field. And like I said, I'm still the person that says I believe we're winning under 4 games. But it doesn't negate to me the fact that I am seeing things. And I know there's production on the field. And like I even said earlier, I made the joke about, in shorts, right? Like we talk about in shorts. But yes, that's why even Tony and I, when we were talking about practice, we were so adamant about how even it can be integral to how they're evaluating these players. Mm-hmm. Production is when your quarterback asks you to come out and do something, you actually go out and do it with them. Instead of having them come and cry and lament about the reason why we're losing is because guys ain't showing up when I ask them to. That's a production. That's something that has bared fruit. And I know you, as the wonderful minister that you are going to be one day, hopefully soon. I would love to hear you speak, hear you preach, because I know you're going to be phenomenal at it. Understand about bearing fruit. It's one of the amazing parables that is taught and talked about over and over again. What type of fruit will you bear? And so far, he's implementing his roots. What you're talking about into your beautiful, magnificent brain are what are the fruits going to produce? Got to get the roots. The roots are producing. The roots are getting implemented. Then something sprouts out from it. But I ain't got to tell you this because you know it. That's all I got to him because I know.
Well, let me
and
based on the leadership thing, and I seen the comments, and I see G2 and I see Nene with the pushing the product. And I would like to say this because I see a statement that she said that I think that means that y'all not paying attention. Because she said, G2, that's where I'm at. Everything is it's peachy now. I thought Mike McDaniel was paying attention so much they named him a genius. See, that's where
for what?
They named him a genius. Hold on.
What?
Hold on. No. That's why that's why I think you're not paying attention. Because they named him a genius because of his offensive identity and the way he could draw up plays. But you want to know one thing that Jeff Hafley have already showed? That video, that clip that I showed you, that's the very, very end of it. And Finsanity pointed out, she said, thank you, Tone, for pointing out, because we could have showed all the highlights and all that stuff that they showed. But I focused on that point. Guess what he said? When he was talking to Achan, they was having a back and forth because he called the play, and it turned out to be a touchdown. And Achan was like, man, what you doing? He said, oh, no. I'm the head coach of the team. I don't just coach defense. See, that's already a difference between Mike McDaniel. Because, again, listen to the players. The players come out, and guess what they say? You know what I like about one thing about Hafley? How he's in every room. It's funny. It's a lot of players that's been here for the past regime, not just the rookie, saying he's in every room. He comes in there with the special team, help us out in the special team. He comes in there on offense, help us out with the offense and schemes and installs. That's the head coach. Now, you don't want to know what's crazy? He also started off by saying he picked his defensive coordinator because that coordinator already knew how to run his defense and how he liked his defense, so he could focus on what? Being the head coach. We didn't have that for Mike McDaniel. I'm sorry. I love Brian Flores. We didn't have that with Brian Flores. Now you come out and listen to these these players, and they say, hey, I'm not used to defensive coaches being in offensive rooms. They said this. I'm not. Like, you go to other teams, that's not normal. Hafley made it a point to go to every room and understand every single unit, not just focus on defense. He already had a plan, and he learned from the Boston College years. I have to be a head coach, not just a defensive coordinator. I have to pay attention to everything. Mike McDaniels, everybody always said he's more suitable to be an offensive coordinator, not a head coach. So that's different. But yeah, I just wanted to get that in. Obviously, we got to show some love to our chats. We don't just let especially if y'all have some good things that we feel like need to be addressed. But go ahead, Frisanity. You want to get to the the next topic?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this up soon. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Oh man, one of the most important units.
Shout out to KPIC. KP, sorry,
oh, KP in here?
Yeah, KP say that's what Jimmy Johnson would do. And he said Bobby Bowden and Dennis Green too. Look at those names.
Mike,
all winners.
Thank you, KP. Now, one of the most important units, One of the most important units we need to speak about is the offensive line, specifically because of the trenches, and specifically because it's going to be a new offensive line with a new quarterback. Tony, what do you think about how this O-line will establish its identity, and what do you think the identity of this O-line will be with the pieces that we currently have?
Well, this has nothing to do with me.
Yep.
This is specifically strictly from what I heard from Aaron Brewer, Patrick Paul, and Caden Proctor.
Let's get it.
Now, Patrick Paul more specifically came out and said, no, what we're trying to do is we want the offensive line to be the identity of this team. We want the offensive line to be at the forefront of what people think about in this team. Now, I mind you, Detroit, they know they offensive line put a stamp on it. When you go to Detroit, you don't know, hey, the offensive line is humming over there. Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles, yes.
I think that their offensive line is the most famous unit on that team.
Yes.
Everyone know because he have that awesome offensive line. They could move one out and bring another one in, and that offensive line is going to keep on rolling. Kelsey retired, brought in a center, and then boom, just kept the ball rolling. The offensive line has an identity. And even to the fact when they brought in, what's the guy that they brought in from the Jets, and he was terrible at the Jets. He went to
Becton? Not Becton.
Mekhi Becton. Yes, Mekhi Becton. Terrible at the Jets. Went over to Philly. Balled like he could play football again.
Like Super Bowl? Did he get a Super Bowl? No.
I don't know if he was on that Super Bowl team, but I think he was.
Close, yeah.
I know he at least played in one. I know that. Right? So those are the things that when I hear, we knew Aaron Brewer had that mindset ever since last year. Now, we did understand, we started to learn that Patrick Paul had that mindset. Caden Proctor already coming in, and he's echoing that sentiment. And what did I say? Hey, man, you get 3 out of 5. You working with a pretty doggone good line. You are. No, every old line, you don't have, go to team, they don't have all 5 great offensive linemen. No. But you come in and that offensive line, hey, guess what Patrick Paul said? Hey, man, we going to maul people. What can you expect from this offensive line? That's what the question was asked. What can we expect, from this offensive line? At least on the left side. He said, we're going to maul people, run people down to in the ground. Yeah, impose our will on people. I want people to think of this. If this offense is going to have success, it's going to be because of the offensive line. Sound like someone trying to really establish a culture out here and really trying to establish a mental mindset. What did I say? From the last year, the beginning of the game, I said, I do not care. I'm sorry, since he was a rookie, I'm sorry. I said, I do not care if you start him or not. Put him in the game and just run behind him and tell him to go destroy the first person in front of him. Set a tone. That was my statement how I wanted them to use Patrick Paul. He's big. He's a freak of nature. Cool. Go out there and let him use that. For anything, if it's not for nothing at all, just to set the tone and let them know we come out here to dominate and impose our will on you guys. Set an example. We didn't have that type of mindset. You understand?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at these players. Oh no, this we're gonna take we're gonna take accountability and we're gonna take the responsibility on ourselves. Not me. They're taking initiative and saying, we're going to be the unit that bring forward or ushers in this new culture. We are. Because we're going to be the one that want to run down your throat. We are going to be the one that's going to want to oppose our will. And we don't care if you know, if the fans of the stands know, if all of the media guys know, if the people in the booth know, the commentators, whoever know that we're going to run the ball, you can't stop it. That's all I need. At least so far from the mental aspect, I love that mentality. I will always love that mentality because it's football. What did I say? You can't be half stepping in a gladiator sport.
Yeah.
Hold on. No. I don't need you being non-confrontational. No, I need you to be coming here ready for all the smoke. And for what I'm hearing so far, all of these guys on the opposite line, they letting it be known, no, we're here for the smoke. Because we know it's the trenches. You can't run from the smoke in the trenches. So you have to welcome that up, welcome that smoke on with open arms. Oh, here we go. I'm here for it. Now, either you going to dominate me or I'm going to dominate me, but someone is going to impose their will on someone. And this offensive line seems as if they want to be the unit to impose their will on the defensive line. And hey, listen, time will tell. When that training camp come, I cannot wait to see how those offensive line and those defensive line compete. I can't. And I do want to point out one thing. Just switch over before I let you jump in here, vicinity. On the defensive side, I see people talking about, edge rushers, and we don't have, like, bro, you do know Joshua Uche, he's experienced. Like, he's not a rookie. Ojabo is not a rookie. Josh Uche had 11 and a half sacks one year in the league. So he did have success in the league. So let's not over-exaggerate with the lack of edge rushers. We have edge rushers. Experience. Oh, there's no experience. We're relying on a bunch of rookies. Take it easy. Like, everyone is amazed and just enamored with Jacob Rodriguez. Don't forget, we still have Jordan Brooks and Tyrell Dawson. Those are vets. To help Kyle Lewis be able to come along short, I ain't gonna say slowly, but not rush. Hey man, I got vets in the room that could teach me. We still have Willie Gay people. He can be one of our average. Remember, he was dominating in training camp. For some reason, Anthony Weaver just couldn't get him on the field. We couldn't, for the life of us, we couldn't understand why that man wasn't getting playing time. I know one thing. I heard that defensive coach was he wasn't a linebackers coach. He was the DB coach. He said he could watch Willie Gay practice all day, every day. He said because he's so relentless and he take every play seriously, even in practice. Sound like someone that's out there to have something to prove. George, yeah, thank you, George. I mentioned that. He said that C+ Willie Gay. Like, I don't know what people are forgetting about this type of stuff. I'm not.
You're not.
We have to be 100%. Go ahead, Cindy.
I'm gonna keep it short and I'm gonna keep it sweet. Because once again, you're just killing it tonight. Like, hang this performance in the Louvre, Tone. This might be one of the greatest performances I've seen, on the Blitz pickup. We miss you, Lou, but we do miss you, Lou. Let's not get it twisted. When you want, let's not get to that point. Let's go to the first point. When Caden Proctor was drafted, and it was made known that he was going to be on the left side, what was the first thing we said? We ain't gonna have problems over there. We not even worried about it. We worried about the other side. We worried about what them boys want to do over there. Now, let's circle back to something that we were going to talk about, but we didn't get a chance to talk about. Some of the interviews from the positional coaches. And it came out that this team wants to be physical and run the ball. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you do that? I'm not in the business of asking a rhetorical question and asking, like, really expecting an answer, because you should know this. You have to be able to impose your will against the other team in the trenches. You bring in guys like this, and they have that mentality, and he's already bought into the physicality. See, some players shy away from the physicality. They want to be finesse. Everything about every single one of their statements was, we're going to be physical. We about that action. We putting our hands in the ground, and we coming at you. And we dare you to push us back, because we're going to push you back. That's all I got to say, because I love how you put it. But when you piece all this together, it sounds like they've been told, this is on your shoulders for what we want to do and how we want this team to be successful offensively, being able to sustain drives, being able to stay on the field. We need y'all every single play to go out there and show them what a grown man looks like when they're playing football. No one it sounds like no one's taking the left side's food. We got to hear from the right side eventually, and we'll get into their mentality. But definitely bought in once again to Hafley's message of physicality and bringing it to your point, the smoke each and every down. And letting them know, like, no, we're going to be out here. We're going to be out here the next play. We're going to be out here the next drive. And you're going to have to see us for 16 minutes. Good luck with that. That's all I got to say. Short and sweet, because you hit it. You made tonight really easy for me. I appreciate that. Hey, you knew I had a long day, and you was like,
I'm just
here
to help, you know.
You.
Just here to help. I'm just here to help, you know.
I needed to help, but I just said.
No, I'm saying I'm just here to help as much as I can. That's it, you know.
Great today.
I would like to add the fact that when they asked about, you know, what they were excited about, and then they asked about A10, you know, contract and signing that contract, and you know, he was saying, I'm just excited to block for him. Mm-hmm. Right? I know a guy that I just have to stay engaged a little longer because I know a guy that's back there that can make plays. You don't think that helped to the psyche of an offensive line? Make him want to block more, make him want to get to the second level, finish his food, and go get to another guy because you know you have a guy back there that's going to make a play? Mm-hmm. You don't think that excites them? It does. And motivate them to be the best that they can be? Of course it does. Of course. I'm quite sure that the coaches was pointing out how many missed tackles A-Chan had last year. That he led the league in yards after catch and also had the least, yardage before contact. The least. He was dead last in yards before contact. Average yards before contact was a half a yard. I mean, he basically get in the backfield every time and had to make break tackles. You don't think the O-line want to change that? How don't we change? All we got to do is move it to what? 2.5, maybe 3? If that's the first time you come in contact with somebody, now you break a play, you might be out of the back, though, because you get in contact with the second level, not the first level. You know? Now you get to the second level, boom. And once you get to the third level, hey, you know, all bets are off.
All bets.
So that's all I'm saying. And yeah, Idle man, I see you said obviously we need long drives. Yes. And where defense is down. Mm-hmm. You know, take the pressure off of your quarterback, your new quarterback. Go ahead, Sandy.
I just take one last point. We all know that we've had, you know, some things where it's, you know, some narratives about cold weather.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be able to be physical to his man where defense is down. I don't know if that was your point or Idle man's point, where defense is down, especially when the weather permits it. And then for us to be going from such a warm climate, shout out to Miami, beautiful, beautiful place. Shout out to y'all that get to live there, grew up there, whatever. And you go up into that cold, but you have guys that are mentally bought in, and their mindset is to go and destroy another person. Oh, cold weather games is about to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. But I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
No, you good. And the player, it's crazy because the player say, Jordan Brooks said it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It wasn't Patrick Paul. It was another guy said it. He was like, yeah, and be able to perform in all climates.
Yeah, that's why I brought that up, because I remember that point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're not shying away from the narrative. No, we understand what it is. We just have to perform. What did I say? Remember, I was like, dog, why do these people always have to come out and either act like they don't know what's going on or try to over-explain why they're going to do something? Why you don't keep it? Just what he said, we just have to perform in all climates. Yeah. That's it. Nice and simple. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. I'm not here to convince you that I can play in this weather. I have to go out there and show you that I'm willing to play in this weather. And, you know, I'm liking so far so good. Obviously, again, we have to we have to see it translate to the field. Now, I don't want to get off this, get up out of here without mentioning this part about the offensive line. There is some concern.
Yeah.
It's not all peaches and creams. There is some concerns, and like Vincent, I think you pointed out, and you didn't even know that you was right to a point that I was trying to get to. That right side, like you literally said, we when they brought in Proctor, we didn't have any concern with the left side. We felt like the left side would be just fine, especially when I said I think he'll translate more of a guard. Just imagine Patrick Paul and Caden Proctor on that left side, and then you got Aaron Brewer right there at center. Man, that's nasty. Add Cash Merrick out there at tight end. Hey, man, we cooking with grease. But the right side, right? Jonah, I think he should, and I don't know, but he should take a step forward. I'm not gonna kill him. I'm damn sure not gonna expect him to do good. He have to show me. Yeah, I've seen you, bro. You trash. You have to show me. But Austin Jackson is dealing with injuries already. Now, there's one thing that we said about Austin Jackson. On the field, damn good right tackle. But the man can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know what it is. The reports coming out is that he was on the sidelines doing light work and wasn't the one that was potentially been involved in practices. He was just on the sideline, just on basically what Achan was, and God, I'm trying to think of Chris Bell. God, that's the name. He was over there with Chris Bell and Achan, and they were trying to figure out whether it was the toe or. So the teams haven't gave no information out about what the injury is, but we do understand that he's dealing with something. And man, listen, I know they gave him a little bit of money to stay, reconstructed the contract so it can help it out, put a little bit of money in his pocket and then give us a little bit of room on the cap situation, the salary cap. But my brother, I'm sorry, injuries, you have to stay on the field, man.
Yeah.
But get him out the building. Get him out the building. That is like it's nothing like that part right there. I don't have no excuses. My patience is very, very small when it comes to that. Like, no, bro. I don't want to hear nothing about no injuries. And last year he got his foot stepped on. Yeah, that wasn't it wasn't his fault. But injuries? Who fault it? When is it ever the player's fault that they get injured? Like, it's not like players are going out there getting injured on purpose. They're not getting injured on purpose. So I want to hear that. But, hopefully everything points out because, we did pencil him in as the right tackle at least for the start of the season. If not, hey, next man up. But I think Hafley, Sully, keep that in mind. And I think they did with the people that they brought in. So I did think they had that in mind. But, that guy cannot be trusted. He cannot be relied upon. He can't stay healthy. Hasn't been healthy. And remember, last year, the year before, I started pointing out and say, everyone is talking about Tua not staying healthy. Why are we giving Austin Jackson a pass? This man just got an easy pass. Like he paid for paid for the sun pass. Like he got him a sun pass. No one is talking about this man don't stay healthy. I don't think he had a single fully healthy season. Maybe one, though. Nah. I'm not letting that slide. I promise you I'm going to be on that all season. I'm not going to take that lightly. I will be pointing out, hey, is he playing? Is he healthy? Is he injured? No. He have to be criticized just as much as we was criticizing every other player that was injured. I don't know why he been getting an easy pass because he was young. I don't know. Maybe they got a soft spot for him. But no, Austin Jackson, you already dealing with an injury. Bro, no excuses. We need you out there. And if not, bro, kick rocks. Get out of here. We're, I don't know if they're going to kick Caden Proctor out to the right. I do not want that to happen. I love, the prospect of him and Patrick Paul on that left side just dominating defense, game in and game out. But, hey, best five on the field. I don't care what, which five it is. I just need the best five on the field. So if you can't stay healthy, my brother, just get out the way. We'll put somebody else there. But yeah, Vicinity. But that's it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And shout out to y'all. Listen, Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? We will be back at our original time Friday. You know, life been lifing. So don't think the 8:30 is the new time. That isn't the new time. You know, life just been lifing, and you know things come up. So we will be back at our regular scheduled program at 8 o'clock. You know, Friday. So y'all be on the lookout for it. Keep the notifications on. Share it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure y'all come back in and comment afterwards. Like the button. Hit that like button. If you forgot to hit the like button, hit it. If you think somebody forgot to hit the like button, remind them to hit the like button. Help us out on the channel. But for Sandy, anything else before we get up out of here?
Once again, just echoing your sentiments. Thank you guys for spending the evening with us. We really appreciate it. We do not take it for granted. We know and remember each one of your names that are in the chat, and you are here with us from the beginning. So thank you so much. And we will be back Friday night, 8 o'clock. God bless you all.
And again, I didn't want to pass this. Cruz did say Becton is a Charger now. He yes. did win a Super Bowl, became a free agent, and got paid. So shout out to Cruz for that info. And listen, man, we appreciate y'all. Y'all know that revolver goes to all y'all in the chat. Shout out to y'all for being active in that chat. Y'all know we got the best chat on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. So that revolver go to y'all, and we out. See y'all Friday.